Hello, everyone. Welcome to Durrett's Take on a Wednesday morning here. I want to start off with some football news first, but going over my top 10 NBA players currently. So I want to start off with NFL first. So apparently, reports have come out saying that Cam Newton is actually willing to take on a backup role. I'm glad he realized that he needed to be a team player because if he's willing to accept a backup role, and not look stubborn, then more people or teams are going to be willing to take a chance on him. However, does this change the fact that I feel like he should still sit out the season and wait till next season? The answer is no. I feel like he should just wait, get his take it off a year, get his body healthy, get his mind healthy, and then also when he goes to a new team next season, he has a full off, hopefully normal off season to look over the playbook and to be able to um, develop connections with those new wide receivers to whichever team is going to have. And then also, there should be quarterback openings next season. Now, there's going to be two day one starters next season, Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. But there should be at least three teams next season that need a starting quarterback. So there should be definitely a market for him next season once he proves that he's healthy and he's willing to be a team player and all that. So that's why I feel like he should still wait till next season. But it'd be interesting to see if a team picks him up though, or if he literally just waits until a quarterback gets injured. So moving on, I got some other news with college football. So NCAA President Mark Emmert declared that if college campuses are not open and students are not there, there is no football season. It's that simple. I can understand why he says it's that simple, but there's actually some gray area in this, and that teams can exploit that gray area if President Emmert's going to stick to this point. So, for example, some can for example, some can work inside the gray area and they will hold in-person classes, but they will make it optional. So that way, people can choose whether they want to go to classes or not, and that way there won't be too many college football students. But since the school will technically have in-person classes and can technically consider themselves open, therefore they can have a football season or produce a football team. Now, there's going to be some teams that can maybe be open for the most part entirely, and things are just fine. Or there may be some teams like a Syracuse or Rutgers that may just have to miss out this season. But for those teams that are in the middle, which will be most of them, I feel like the strategy that I just gave is a pretty good one. Now, I understand that my point earlier was that let's just wait till spring of next year to have a football season, and I still stand by that point. However, if the only option was we play football this year at some point or we don't play at all, then I'm going to take any option that we can get for this year, which will include the option I just said. So it'll be interesting to see what universities decide to do and colleges decide to do. I know they're going to be really careful, but I know they really are going to want to play football as well because it brings us so much money. Okay, so now to go over my top 10 current NBA players. So this won't include KD or because he didn't play the season, or Steph Curry because he barely played at all this season. It won't include them. But before I want to go over my top 10, I want to go over some honorable mentions. One of my first, in no particular order, but one of my first honorable mentions is Russell Westbrook. So he averaged 27.5 points per game, which is seventh in the league. He averaged 8 rebounds a game, which is 21st in the league, and he averaged 7 assists in the league, which is 7 assists per game, which is 12th in the league. And also, Russell Westbrook averages 1.7 steals a game, which is 10th in the league. And then the thing that's very interesting, though, is that he only shot 25.43% for 3-point range, which is not good. But the thing is that I'm kind of proud of him, and the fact is that he realized like he doesn't need to shoot the three ball a lot because there's capable better 3-point shooters on the team, and he doesn't have to. So the reason why, in my opinion, he's actually better this season than he was like the past few seasons is because he's taking less threes and he's going to the hole and making sure his teammates get involved. Another option, honorable mention, is Nikola Jokic. He's the best player in the Denver Nuggets. He just does everything for them. He He'll score the ball. He'll rebound. He'll dish it out. He'll and when he shoots the ball, he shoots at a very good percentage. So for Jokic, he shoots at 52.8%, which is pretty good, 19th in the league. Another one is Donovan Mitchell. I feel like he's the alpha. I feel like he's the alpha over Rudy Gobert for the Utah Jazz. He averaged 14. He averaged 24.2 points per game, which is 14th in the league. He shoots 45.3% from the field, which is pretty good, top 100. He does need to increase both his rebounds and assists, but that will come over time as he matures and gets older. And then he shot 36.4% three-point range, which is not too bad. And then another honorable mention is Brandon Ingram. Now he's severely underrated as far as this season goes. Because back when Zion Williamson was out and there was a whole bunch of injuries, he literally carried the team. He averaged 24.3 points per game, 13th in the league, while averaging 6 boards a game, 4 assists, and then the thing about him though is that he shoots 38.7% for three-point range. It's actually pretty interesting because he's really known for, if he doesn't go to the rim, he's really known for his mid-range shooting, but as his three-point percentage shows, he can shoot three as well as shoot effectively from the field because he shoots 46.6% of the field. And then the last honorable mention is Trae Young. Even though he's on a very bad team, at least he performs well. Averages 29.6 points per game, not bad for a sophomore. That's 4th in the league. He averages 9.3 assists per game, which is 2nd in the league. So that began pretty interesting. Now you think because he shoots a lot of threes and makes them, you think he would average a higher 3-point percentage than 36. But 36 is still pretty good, but I would expect it to be a little bit higher. But anyways, so now going on to my top 10 list, we're going to start off with number 10 in Jimmy Butler. He averages 20.2 points per game, 6.6 rebounds, 6.1 assists, all within the top 40, and 1.7 steal, which is 8th best. And then he shoots, now his three-point percentage is actually worse than you may think, but he shoots effectively from the field at 45.4%. And the thing about him, though, is just his attitude, his demeanor, the way he carries the team. I didn't think Miami would be top 4 in the East by this point. So it's and also every team he's left, they've gotten worse, like Chicago, Minnesota, and Philly. So I just think it's surprising how people underrate Jimmy Butler. And then the next one for this season is Chris Paul. You have to really be impressed with what Chris Paul's done. Now his numbers don't stick out as I thought it would. He's 12th in the league of steals, and he's only averages 17.7 points per game. He's 38th in field goal percentage, 40.9. So since a lot of the big guys usually have the best field goal percentage, 38th for a point guard is pretty good. The thing about him, though, is Thunder, they were supposed to be a rebuilding team, supposed to be one of the worst teams in the West, and they're 5th seed as of right now, which is pretty good. And that's all because Chris Paul getting the best out of the young talent around him, making the best out of the situation. Because I thought Chris Paul was done with after he got traded from Houston, but apparently he just needed the right fit. And apparently the right fit is for him to be on a team where he is cleared the best player and has to help mentor young guys. 8th place goes to Pascal Siakam. He averages 23.6 points per game, 15th in the league, and averages 7.5 boards per game. The thing that's interesting about him is that he averages 35.9 points, 3-point field goal percent, which again, he is not really known for 3-point shooting too much. So that's pretty interesting that he's able to shoot the ball pretty well. The thing about him though is Toronto, they're the 2nd seed after Kawhi Leonard has left. And that's all because of Pascal Siakam. Now, true, they still have the veteran Kalari. They still have other players like Serge Ibaka, Marcus Gasol, stuff like that. But he's the sole reason why they're in 2nd place in the East right now. And another player is Anthony Davis. Averages 26.7 points a game, which is 9th. 9.4 rebounds. Both of those are in top 20. Averages 1.5 steals a game, which is 15th. And then he averages 2.5 blocks per game, which is 3rd in the league. And then his field goal percentage 24th at 51.1%. And then his 3-point field goal percentage is actually over 30% at 33.5%, so not too bad for a big guy there. Now, as far as you're talking about best player, he might actually be a little bit higher, but based off the season, while he's been for the most part good, he's been a little bit inconsistent, so that's why I have him in 7th place. 6th place will go to Damian Lillard. Now, he did everything he could for the Blazers when he was healthy to make sure they were gonna do everything they can to try to make the playoffs. He put his heart and soul out on the court, averaging 28.9 points per game, fifth in the league, averaging 7.8 assists per game, sixth in the league. Um, he averages 39.4% from shooting the 3 point for shooting from 3 point line, which is pretty good because the goal is to probably get around 33.5%. When you're like close to 40, over 40, that's really good. So yeah, he was the heart and soul of the team, and he just had a really outstanding season for a team that most likely was not going to make the playoffs. Fifth place will go to James Harden. Now, he easily could be high on the list, and after looking at the stats, you can definitely make a case why. Because he's first in points per game at 34.4. He averages 7.4 assists per game. He averages 6.4 rebounds a game and 1.7 steals per game. But as far as points per game, assists, and steals go, he's in the top 10 all three of those categories. So that's pretty good. The fourth place goes to Luka Doncic. He averages 28.7 points per game for his sophomore year, sixth in the league. 9.3 rebounds, 19th in the league. 8.7 assists, fourth in the league. So top 20 in all categories there, which is pretty good. Now, and he averages 46.1% field goal wise. So that's pretty good. But the one knock on him is that because he takes a high volume of threes, it's a hit and miss with him. He's a streaky shoot from there. So he's only at 31.8%. So that needs to improve in order for him to get to new heights of where I think he can go. But yeah, he's fourth. He lead his team, especially because Kristaps Porzingis was out half the time and stuff like that. He helped carry this team to where they are. Next place, third place, is Kawhi Leonard. Now again, it's all based off regular season. He takes his personal days off, or load management days, if you will, off. So that's why his numbers could be improved if he were to play every game. But he averages 26.9 points per game, eighth in the league, 7.3 rebounds, 29th, 1.8 steals, which is fifth. He averages 36.6% from 3-point land, which is pretty good, and 46.8% from the field, which is pretty good. He's the defense player. He's helped carry the team when Paul George has been out most of this time. So second place. So of course my top two would be LeBron James or Giannis, but I'm gonna go with Giannis as second. This is basically a 1A, 1B. They're super close to each other. But Giannis is 28.6% points per game, which is third in the league. 13.7 rebounds, third in the league. 5.8 assists, 23rd, not bad for a big guy. His field goal percentage is 54.7, so that's 15th in the league. And his 3-point field goal percentage is at 30 barely percent, so he needs to take that a little bit higher, but at least it's over 30. Based off the stats, he has it locked in the bag. But LeBron James, he has 25.7 points per game. That's 11th. And I feel like if he was the guy on the team and Anthony Davis wasn't there, it would easily be higher to where Giannis is. But since he has Anthony Davis there, that's why that can be a little bit lower. He averages 7.9 rebounds per game, just 22nd, pretty good. And then he averages 10.6 assists per game, which that's first in the league. And then they're both similar in steals per game. And they're similar in field goal percentage. He's at 49.8%, 31st, and he averages 34.9% from 3-point field goal range. So again, that's all pretty good, and that's why LeBron James first. You can disagree with the order and stuff, but that's my order of the top 10 current players in the NBA. So feel free to leave comments, let me know what you think, and I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Thank you very much.